The cargo bay was cold and quiet. Tay walked between the tall metal containers, his boots making soft sounds on the floor. He held a scanner in his hand, checking each container one by one. This was his job. He had done it for 7 years, and he knew every corner of this place. Orbital Station Helios 7 was a busy place. Ships came and went every hour. Traders, miners, and travelers from 100 different worlds passed through its halls. But at this late hour, most people were asleep. Only workers like Tay moved through the shadows. He stopped in front of a large gray container. The scanner showed something strange. There was a heat signature inside. Something alive. Tay frowned. This container was supposed to hold machine parts. Nothing alive should be in there. He looked around. The bay was empty. No guards, no other workers. Just him and the hum of the station's engines far below. He should call security. That was the rule. Unknown life signs meant danger. It could be an animal. It could be a smuggler. It could be anything, but something made him wait. Maybe it was the way the heat signature was so small, so still. Like whatever was inside was too tired or too weak to move. Tay put his hand on the container's lock. He took a deep breath. Then he opened it. The smell hit him first. Sweat and fear and something else. Something like old metal and salt. He stepped back and covered his nose. Then he looked inside Dot. She was sitting in the corner. Her skin was blue-gray, like the sky before a storm. Her eyes were large and dark, filled with terror. Thin fins ran along her arms, pressed flat against her body. She was shaking Dot in her arms. She held a small bundle. A baby. Its eyes were closed, and its breathing was weak. Tay had seen aliens before. The station was full of them, but he had never seen one like this. He knew what she was. A Villani. He had heard stories about them. Their world was dying. Their people were running, and no one wanted to help them. The woman looked at him. She did not speak. She just waited. Her arms tightened around her child. Tay understood that look. It was the look of someone who expected pain. Someone who had been hurt too many times to hope for kindness. He should call security. That was the rule. But Tay thought about his daughter, Hannah. She was 6 years old. She had the same small hands, the same trusting eyes. If something happened to him, if Hannah was ever lost and alone, he would want someone to help her. He lowered his scanner. "Can you walk?" he asked. The woman blinked. She did not seem to understand. Tay spoke more slowly. "Walk. Can you walk? Move?" She nodded. It was a small movement, careful and unsure. "Come with me," Tay said. "I will not hurt you." He did not know if she believed him. He did not know if he believed himself. But he reached out his hand and waited. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, she took his hand. Her fingers were cold and thin. He could feel her bones through her skin. He helped her stand. She was weak. Her legs shook with every step. But she held her baby close and followed him. Tay led her through the back passages of the station. These were the old tunnels, the ones nobody used anymore. They were dark and dusty, but they were safe. No cameras. No guards. He brought her to a small storage room near his own quarters. It was empty except for a few old boxes and a broken chair. But it had a door that locked, and it was warm. "Stay here," he said. "I will bring food, water, medicine for your child." The woman looked at him. Her dark eyes were wet with tears she refused to let fall. "Why?" she asked. Her voice was soft and rough, like she had not spoken in days. Tay did not have a good answer. He just shook his head. "Because you need help," he said. "That is enough." He left her there and walked back to his quarters. His heart was beating fast. He had just broken about 10 station rules. If anyone found out, he would lose his job. He might even lose Hana. But when he opened the door to his home and saw his daughter sleeping in her bed, her small hand curled around her favorite toy, he knew he had made the right choice. He gathered what he could: bread, water, a blanket, some medicine from his own supply. It was not much, but it was something. When he returned to the storage room, the woman had not moved. She was still sitting in the corner, her baby in her arms. But when she saw the food, something changed in her eyes. A tiny spark of hope. Tay set everything down in front of her. "Eat," he said. "Rest. I will come back tomorrow." She reached for the bread with trembling hands. She ate slowly, carefully, like she had forgotten what food tasted like. "Thank you," she whispered. Tay nodded. He turned to leave. "My name is Lyra," she said. He stopped at the door. "I am Tay," he said. "Get some sleep, Lyra. You are safe here." He did not know if that was true. He did not know what would happen tomorrow or the day after. But for tonight, at least, he could give her that small lie, that small comfort. He closed the door and walked back to his daughter. In her sleep, Hana smiled. She was dreaming of cookies and stars and all the wonderful things that children dream of. Tay sat beside her bed and watched her breathe. He thought about the woman in the storage room. He thought about her baby, so small and so sick. He had made a choice tonight. A dangerous choice. A foolish choice. But it was the only choice he could live with. Outside the window, the stars burned cold and bright. Somewhere out there, 1,000 ships carried 1,000 stories. Stories of war and loss and cruelty. But here, in this small corner of the universe, one man had decided to be kind. And sometimes that was enough to change everything. 3 days passed. Tay kept his secret. Every morning, he went to work like nothing had changed. Every night, he visited Lyra in the storage room. He brought her food and water and medicine for baby Soren. The baby was getting a little better. He could open his eyes now. He could make small sounds. But he was still weak. Too weak. Lyra never asked for much. She sat quietly in her corner, feeding her son and watching the door. She was always watching the door, always waiting for someone to come and take her away. Tay tried to make her comfortable. He brought her a real blanket, not the thin one from before. He brought her fruit and protein bars and once a small cake from the station bakery. "You should not do this," Lyra said one evening. "If they catch you, they will punish you." Tay shrugged. "They will not catch me. You do not know that." "No," he admitted. "But I am careful. And you need help." Lyra looked at him for a long time. Her dark eyes were full of questions. But she did not ask them. She just nodded and said, "Thank you." At home, Hana was getting curious. She was a smart girl. She noticed that her father was leaving at strange hours. She noticed that food was missing from the kitchen. "Papa," she said one morning, "are you helping someone?" Tay stopped. He looked at his daughter. She was sitting at the table, eating her breakfast. Her hair was messy, and her eyes were bright. "Why do you ask?" he said. "Because you are taking food. And you look tired. And you keep smiling at nothing." Tay laughed. His daughter was too clever for her own good. "Yes," he said. "I am helping a friend. A friend who is very tired and very hungry." Hana thought about this. "Can I meet your friend?" "Not yet," Tay said. "Maybe later." But Hana was not good at waiting. She was 6 years old, and 6-year-olds are full of questions and curiosity. That night, when Tay went to visit Lyra, Hana followed him. She was quiet and small and knew how to hide in shadows. She had learned this from playing hide-and-seek with her father. She followed him through the empty halls. She followed him down the old tunnels. She watched him open the storage room door and go inside. Hana waited. She counted to 100. Then she crept forward and peeked through the crack in the door. She saw a woman with blue-gray skin sitting on the floor. She saw a baby wrapped in blankets. She saw her father kneeling beside them, talking in a soft voice. Hannah was not scared. She had met aliens before. There was a nice orphan man at the market who gave her candy. There was a Drellian lady at school who taught music. Aliens were not strange to her, but this alien looked different. She looked sad. She looked tired. She looked like she needed a friend. Hannah pushed the door open and walked inside. Tay jumped to his feet. "Hannah, what are you doing here?" But Hannah was not looking at her father. She was looking at Lyra. Lyra stared back. Her arms tightened around Solon. Her eyes went wide with fear. A human child. So small, so fragile. What if the child screamed? What if she ran to get help? But Hannah did not scream. She did not run. She walked closer, her small feet making soft sounds on the floor. She looked at Lyra's tired face. She looked at baby Solon in her arms. "Hello," Hannah said. "I am Hannah. What is your name?" Lyra could not speak. Her throat was tight. This small human child was not afraid of her, was not disgusted by her blue skin or her strange fins. She was just curious. "Lyra," she finally said. "My name is Lyra." "That is a pretty name," Hannah said. She looked at the baby. "Is that your baby?" "Yes. His name is Solon. He's very small." Hannah tilted her head. "Is he sick?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, he is sick. But he is getting better." Hannah thought about this. She remembered when she was sick last year. Her father had given her soup and told her stories and held her hand until she fell asleep. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small tin. It was dented and old, but she carried it everywhere. Inside were 3 cookies. The last 3 cookies from the batch she and her father had made together. The recipe was her mother's. Her mother who was gone now. Her mother who used to smell like flowers and sing songs at bedtime. Hannah opened the tin and held it out to Lyra. "Would you like a cookie?" she asked. "They are very good. My papa and I made them." Lyra looked at the cookies. They were golden and round, with little brown spots. They smelled sweet. In Volani culture, accepting food from a stranger was not a small thing. It meant trust. It meant connection. It meant you were willing to be bonded to that person. Lyra had not accepted food from anyone in months. She had taken what was offered, yes, but she had not truly accepted it. Not in her heart, but this child was different. This child was offering something precious, something made with love. "I should not," Lyra said. "Those are yours." Hannah shook her head. "Sharing is nice. Mama always said sharing makes things taste better." Lyra felt something break inside her, something that had been frozen for too long. She thought of her own home, her own mother, the songs they used to sing before the war came. "Your mama sounds wise," Lyra said. "She was," Hannah said. "She is in the stars now. But Papa says she is still watching." Lyra understood loss. She understood it too well. Hannah stepped closer. She held out the tin again. "If I share my cookie," she said, "will you stay?" The words were simple, a child's words, but they hit Lyra like a wave. "Will you stay?" No one had asked her to stay. For months, she had been running, from planet to planet, from ship to ship. Everyone wanted her gone. Everyone wanted her to be someone else's problem. But this small human girl, with messy hair and bright eyes, was asking her to stay. Lyra reached out. Her hand was trembling. She took a cookie from the tin. It was sweet. It was warm. It tasted like home. "Yes," Lyra whispered. "I will stay." Hannah smiled. It was the biggest smile in the whole universe. She sat down next to Lyra. right there on the cold floor. She looked at baby Solon and made funny faces until he opened his eyes. Tay watched from the doorway. He did not say anything. He could not say anything. His throat was too tight. His daughter, his little Hana, had just done something he could never do. She had reached across the space between two worlds with nothing but a cookie and an open heart. Outside, the station hummed with 1,000 busy sounds. Ships came and went. People rushed to their destinations. The universe kept spinning, cold and uncaring. But in this small room, something new had begun. A family was being born, and it all started with a cookie. A week passed. Things got worse. Baby Solon was not getting better anymore. His small body burned with fever. He cried weakly, a sound that broke Lyra's heart. She held him close and whispered songs from her homeworld, but nothing helped. Tay watched her worry. He saw the dark circles under her eyes. He saw how she barely ate anymore, giving all her food to her son. "He needs a doctor," Tay said one night. "Real medicine, not the things I bring from the market." Lyra shook her head. "If I go to a doctor, they will report me. They will take us away." "There might be another way," Tay said slowly. He had been thinking about this for days. There was one person who might help. One person who owed him a favor. "There is a man I know," he continued. "His name is Do-Yen. He was a combat medic in the war. Now he runs a small clinic. Not a legal one. He helps people who cannot go to regular hospitals." Lyra looked up. "Why would he help me? I am Vellani. Everyone hates my people." "Do-Yen is different," Tay said. "He helps anyone who needs it. That is just who he is." Lyra did not believe him. She had heard too many lies, too many promises that meant nothing. But Solon coughed again, a wet and terrible sound. She looked at her son's tiny face. He was so pale, so weak. "Fine," she said. "Take us to your friend." Getting to Do-Yen's clinic was not easy. Tay had to move through the station without being seen. He wrapped Lyra in a large coat and covered her head with a hood. In the dim light, she could pass as human. Almost. They took the back tunnels again. Hana stayed home this time, though she begged to come. Tay promised to bring news as soon as he could. Do-Yen's clinic was hidden behind an old repair shop. The door was plain and unmarked. But when Tay knocked 3 times, it opened. Do-Yen was a tall man with tired eyes and gentle hands. His hair was gray at the sides, and his face showed the lines of many hard years. But when he saw Lyra and her baby, he did not hesitate. "Bring them in," he said, quickly. The clinic was small but clean. There were beds along the walls and machines that beat softly. Other patients lay sleeping. A young man with bandaged arms. An old woman with a cough. People nobody else would treat. Do-Yen took Solon gently from Lyra's arms. He placed the baby on a table and began to examine him. "How long has he been like this?" Do-Yen asked. 2 weeks, Lyra said. Her voice was breaking. "Maybe more. I lost count." Do-Yen nodded. He worked quickly, checking the baby's heart, his breathing, his temperature. "It is an infection," he said finally. "Common in human babies. Easy to treat. But Vellani are different. Their bodies do not respond the same way. Can you help him?" Lyra asked. Do-Yen looked at her. "I will try. I have some medicine that might work. But I cannot promise anything." He gave Solon an injection. The baby cried, a small and weak sound. Then he grew quiet. His breathing became slower, steadier. "Now we wait," Do-Yen said. "The next few hours will tell us everything." Lyra sat beside her son. She held his tiny hand and did not look away. Tay stood in the corner, watching. He felt helpless. There was nothing he could do. Nothing but wait. After an hour, Gahum came to stand beside him. "You are taking a big risk," the doctor said quietly. "If they find out what you are doing, you will lose everything." "I know," Tay said. "Then why?" "She's not your family. She's not your responsibility." Tay thought about this. He had asked himself the same question many times. "Because I looked at her and saw someone who needed help," he said. "That is what humans do. At least, that is what I want to teach my daughter we do." Diane smiled. It was a sad smile, but there was warmth in it. "You are a good man, Tay. There are not many like you left." "There are more than you think," Tay said. "They just need a reason to show it." 2 hours later, Solon opened his eyes. His fever was going down. His breathing was strong. Lyra wept. She held her son and let the tears fall. For the first time in months, they were tears of joy. "He will be okay," Dohyun said. "But he needs rest and more medicine. Bring them back tomorrow night, and I will check on him again." Tay nodded. "Thank you, Dohyun. I owe you." "You owe me nothing," the doctor said. "Just take care of them. That is payment enough." They left the clinic as the station lights dimmed for the night cycle. Lyra walked beside Tay, her son sleeping peacefully in her arms. "Why do you help strangers?" she asked suddenly. "I have been to many worlds. I have met many species. Most of them looked at my people and saw nothing worth saving." Tay did not answer right away. He thought about his wife, gone now for 3 years. He thought about Hana, growing up in a universe that could be cold and cruel. "Because kindness matters," he said finally. "Because if we stop helping each other, then what is the point? We are all just travelers, all trying to find our way home." Lyra looked at him. This human, this ordinary man with tired eyes and a gentle voice, had done more for her than anyone in the galaxy. "On my world," she said, "we have a word for people like you. It means Starkeeper, someone who holds light for others when their own light has gone out." Tay smiled. "That is a nice word. You are a Starkeeper, Tay. You and your daughter both." They walked the rest of the way in silence. When they reached the storage room, Hana was waiting at the door. She had sneaked out again. "Is Solon okay?" she asked, her eyes wide with worry. Lyra knelt down and showed her the sleeping baby. "He's okay. Thanks to your papa." Hana reached out and touched Solon's small hand. The baby stirred. His tiny fingers wrapped around hers. "I knew it," Hana said. "I knew Papa would help. He always helps." Lyra looked at Tay. He was watching his daughter with so much love, so much pride. She understood now. This man did not help because he expected anything in return. He helped because that was simply who he was. And in a galaxy full of darkness, that was the most beautiful thing she had ever seen. That night, Lyra slept deeply for the first time in months. Solon slept beside her, warm and safe. And somewhere in the stars, a light was burning. A small light. A human light. But even small lights can push back the darkness. Trouble came on a Tuesday morning. Tay was at work when the call came through. His supervisor wanted to see him. Right away, he walked to the main office with a heavy feeling in his chest. Something was wrong. He could feel it. Inside the office, a woman was waiting. She wore the gray uniform of station security. Her name tag said Jisoo. She was not tall, but there was something sharp about her. Her eyes missed nothing. "Please sit down," she said. Her voice was calm and professional. Tay sat. "I am investigating some missing supplies," Jisoo continued. "Food, medicine, blankets. They have been disappearing from the storage areas for the past 2 weeks. Tay kept his face blank. "I do not know anything about that." Jisoo looked at him. Her eyes were dark and steady. "You work in those areas," she said. "You have access to the containers. You have been working late hours, more than usual. I like to be thorough, Tay said. That is my job. Jisoo nodded slowly. She opened the file on her tablet and turned it toward him. There was a picture. It showed a heat signature in a cargo container. The same container where Tay had found Lyra. This was recorded 11 days ago, Jisoo said. A life sign, unauthorized, but there is no record of you reporting it. Tay's heart beat faster, but he kept his voice calm. The scanner must have made an error, he said. Sometimes they pick up machinery heat. Perhaps, Jisoo said. She did not sound convinced. She closed the file and stood up. I do not have proof of anything yet, but I want you to know that I am watching. If there is something you are hiding, I will find it. She walked to the door, then stopped. I am not a bad person, Tay, but rules exist for a reason. If you are helping someone who should not be here, you are breaking the law. And the law has consequences. She left. The door closed behind her. Tay sat alone in the office. His hands were shaking. That night, he told Lyra everything. You must leave, she said immediately. Stop coming here. Stop helping me. I will find another way. No, Tay said. I am not giving up. They will take your daughter from you, Lyra said. Her voice was hard and desperate. Do you understand? If they catch you, they will punish you. Hannah will lose her father. Is that what you want? Tay looked at her. She was right. He knew she was right, but he could not walk away. Not now. There must be another way, he said. Lyra shook her head. There is no other way. There never is for people like me. But Tay was already thinking. He remembered something Do-hyun had mentioned. A network. People who helped refugees escape to safer places. Wait here, he said. I will be back. He found Do-hyun at the clinic. The doctor was treating a patient, but he stopped when he saw Tay's face. What happened? Tay told him about Jisoo, about the investigation. Do-hyun listened quietly. Then he said, there is a Vellani rescue convoy passing through this sector. In 3 days. If she can reach them, she will be safe. How do we get her to the convoy? There is a small transport in Docking Bay 17. It belongs to a friend. He can take her, but it is risky. Security is tight. If they catch her before she reaches the ship, it is over. Tay nodded. 3 days. We can do this. But when he returned to the storage room, Lyra was not there. Hannah was sitting alone on the floor. She was holding Lyra's blanket. Her eyes were red. Papa, she said. Lyra left. She said she had to go. She said goodbye. Tay's heart sank. What? When? Just now. She was crying. She said she did not want to hurt us. She left a note. Hannah pointed to a small piece of paper on the floor. Tay picked it up. His hands were shaking again. The note was written in careful letters. Lyra had learned some human writing during her time in the storage room. Dear Tay and Hannah, it said. Your daughter asked if I would stay. I wanted to, more than anything. But I cannot let your kindness destroy you. You have given me hope when I had none. You have shown me that not all stars are cold. But I must go now. I must keep you safe. Thank you for the cookies. Thank you for the songs. Thank you for teaching me what family means. Love, Lyra. Tay read the note twice. 3 times. Then he looked at his daughter. Hannah was crying. Her small body shook with sobs. She left, Hannah said. She left, and she did not say goodbye properly. She just left. Tay knelt down and pulled his daughter into his arms. I know, he whispered. I know. She said she would stay, Hannah cried. She promised. When she took my cookie, she promised. Tay held her tighter. He felt his own tears coming. Lyra was out there somewhere, alone, running, trying to protect them by leaving. But she did not understand. She did not understand that some promises cannot be broken. Some bonds cannot be cut. "Papa," Hannah said suddenly. She pulled back and looked at him. Her eyes were still wet, but there was something else there now. Something fierce. "We have to find her," Hannah said. "We have to bring her back." Tay looked at his daughter. She was only 6 years old. But in that moment, she looked older, braver. "It is dangerous," he said. "I do not care. We might get in trouble. I do not care." "Hannah, she is family now, Papa. You said so. When you share food, you become family. That is what Lyra told me. And family does not leave family behind." Tay stared at his daughter. She was right. Of course she was right. He stood up. He took Hannah's hand. "Okay," he said. "Let us go find her." Outside, the station was quiet. The night cycle had begun. Most people were asleep, but somewhere in the dark tunnels and empty hallways, a Vellani mother was running, and 2 humans were running after her, not to stop her, to save her. Tay moved fast. He knew the station better than anyone. He knew every tunnel, every shortcut, every forgotten corner. "Where would she go?" Hannah asked, running beside him. "The docking bays," Tay said. "She will try to find a ship. Any ship that will take her." They ran through the empty hallways. The lights were dim. The station hummed with the sound of distant engines. Tay pulled out his communicator and called Do-Yun. "She ran," he said. "I need your help." "I know," Do-Hyun's voice came back. "She came to me first. I told her about the convoy. She's heading to Docking Bay 17. She cannot get there alone. Security is everywhere." "I know. I am already on my way. Meet me there." Tay ended the call. He looked at Hannah. "We need to move faster," he said. Hannah nodded. She did not complain. She did not slow down. She ran with her father through the dark station, her small cookie tin bouncing against her side. They reached Docking Bay 17 in 10 minutes. It was a large open space filled with small ships and transport pods. Most of them were locked down for the night. Do-Hyun was waiting near the entrance. His face was grim. "She is in there," he said quietly. "But so is security. They are checking all the ships." Someone reported a suspicious person near the docks. Tay looked through the window. He could see officers moving between the ships. Flashlights swept across the dark bay. And there, hiding behind a stack of cargo containers, was Lyra. She was pressed against the wall, Solon clutched to her chest. Her eyes were wide with fear. "We have to help her," Hannah said. "I know," Tay said. "But how?" Before he could think of a plan, the door to the bay slid open. Jisoo stepped out. She saw Tay immediately. Her eyes narrowed. "What are you doing here?" she asked. Tay froze. There was no good answer. "No lie, that would work." Hannah stepped forward. "Please," she said. "Please do not take her away." Jisoo looked down at the small girl. "Take who away?" Hannah pointed toward the cargo containers. "Lyra, she is my friend. She took my cookie. That means she's family." Jisoo's face was unreadable. She looked from Hannah to Tay to the bay beyond. "You have been hiding an unauthorized alien," she said slowly. "That is a serious crime." Tay stepped in front of his daughter. "I will take full responsibility. Just let her go. She has a baby. A sick baby. She is just trying to survive." Jisoo was silent for a long moment. Her jaw was tight. Her eyes were hard. Then something changed. Something in her face softened, just a little. "I was a refugee once," she said quietly. "A long time ago. My colony was destroyed. I was 10 years old. A stranger helped me escape. A human man I never saw again. She looked at Hana. The little girl stared back at her, eyes full of hope. I became a security officer because I believed in the rules, Jisoo continued. I believed that order kept people safe. But sometimes the rules are wrong. She took a deep breath. Then she stepped aside. I did not see anything tonight, she said. Now go, before I change my mind. Tae did not wait. He grabbed Hana's hand and ran into the bay. They found Lyra behind the containers. She looked up when she saw them, her face pale with shock. What are you doing here? She whispered. You should not have come. You are family, Hana said. Family does not leave family behind. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. Do-hyun appeared beside them. The transport is ready, but we must go now. They moved quickly. Do-hyun led them to a small ship at the far end of the bay. It was old and worn, but its engines were running. A man was waiting at the door. He nodded at Do-hyun and stepped aside. The convoy is waiting at the edge of the sector, he said. I can get you there in 2 hours. Lyra turned to Tae. Her hands were shaking. Why? She asked. Why did you risk everything for me? Tae did not have fancy words. He was just a cargo worker. Just a father. Because you needed help, he said. That is what humans do. Hana reached into her pocket and pulled out her cookie tin. It was empty now, but she held it out to Lyra anyway. For Solon, she said. When he is bigger, you can put cookies in it. So he remembers. Lyra took the tin. Her tears fell onto the warm metal. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for everything. She knelt down and hugged Hana. The little girl hugged her back, holding tight. You will come back, right? Hana asked. Lyra smiled through her tears. I will try. I promise I will try. She stood and looked at Tae one last time. You are a good man, she said. The best I have ever known. Then she boarded the ship. The door closed. The engines roared. Tae and Hana watched as the transport lifted off the ground. It flew through the open bay doors and disappeared into the stars. They stood there for a long time, looking at the empty sky. Then Hana took her father's hand. She will come back, she said. I know it. Tae squeezed her hand. Yes, he said. I think she will. 1 year later, the package arrived on a sunny morning. Tae found it outside his door, wrapped in brown paper with strange markings. Inside was a tin. A new tin, shiny and bright. And inside the tin were cookies. Golden and round with little brown spots. There was a note. Dear Tae and Hana, we are safe. Solon is strong and happy. He says his first words now. One of them is cookie. I learned how to bake. It took many tries. I hope these taste okay. I want you to know that I think of you every day. You showed me that kindness exists in this cold galaxy. You taught me that strangers can become family. I stayed, just like I promised. I stayed in the only way I could. In my heart, I never left. Solon and I will see you again someday. Until then, eat your cookies and look at the stars. We are out there, looking back. With all my love, Lyra. Tae read the note aloud. Hana listened with shining eyes. Then she opened the tin and took out a cookie. She bit into it and smiled. They are good, she said. Almost as good as Mama's. Tae laughed. He took a cookie for himself, thought it was sweet. It was warm. It tasted like hope. Outside the window, the stars burned bright. Somewhere out there, a Vellani mother was watching the same stars. A healthy baby was playing at her feet. And in this small apartment, on a busy station in the middle of nowhere, 2 humans were eating cookies and thinking about family. Not the family they were, born with. The family they chose. The family they found. And that, in the end, was the most human thing of all.